Hello everyone, this is our new recap of round number 7 Olympiad, and today with me, FIDE Master Vladimir Chernikov.
FIDE master and expert in Philidor defense. Ciao.
Yes. Today we're gonna analyze two games. That was one of the most important matches of the tournament between China and India, and Lejeune didn't want to play against Gukesh, so Wei Yi participated against him, and also we'll cover the game of Magnus, who decided to get losing position on the in 3 moves in the opening already, and see how he recovered from that. Okay, what were your expectations in the match of China and India, even though we covered it in our yesterday's recap with predictions?
I expected that Dean Leren will go to play at least and to give a point for Gukesh, but it didn't happen. He decided to not to do it and he sent Wei Yi to do the same job.
But on the other hand, I think that Gukesh did not really expect that he'll play Wei Yi, even though Wei Yi way stronger than Dink, obviously, right now. But yeah, and by the way, just to keep the intrigue, all the remaining 3 games ended in a draw, and finally, Yurigasi made a draw, so nobody will blame us that we do not praise him to the like God or something, even though he's like playing great tournament again. We'll repeat, but some people in the comments going crazy. So, by the way, we did also didn't play, so yeah, it's like Hare Krishna played. So, the game, opening e4, c5, everybody keeps on playing Neither, and I will definitely record the video so that, people knew that this is a bad opening because grandmasters on the first boards like Volokity and Wei Yi haven't figured it out yet. Knight c3, knight f6. Neither of players usually prefer a6. Some prefer knight f6, of course, but it seems to me that a6 is more flexible because after knight f6 there is an annoying move f5. And Vladimir, what can you say me about if bishop e2 move that was played that Gukesh played? It was probably his preparation.
Okay, we'll say that definitely you have to play it on move 2, right? It's a great decision to play e4, bishop e2, d3, f4. You can, yeah,
Knight
reach
f3
me
and
to,
then
for me to teach
mate.
you to do it. Good idea, but okay, except of this, I don't know why to put bishop here. Moreover, when your knight is already in f3, like you're not even going to play 4 soon.
Yeah, because
Probably.
if let's maybe there is some like very tiny detail and difference and stuff like that. Maybe after a6, the idea is to like after a castle provoke the opponent to play something like a6 and play d4, which I'm not so sure if it's really big sort of improvement. But yeah, I don't know. Not very often you see it. Like Magnus played bishop c4 on the move number 3. But really, yeah, what happened is e5. Why it didn't take a lot of time
I
and
like this
he's
move a lot.
uh I don't because it creates a hole, but it makes sense
Okay,
in
I will
this
tell
short chess.
you the points that I used to play before against e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, e5 already in move 3. That much I like this position. With bishop or even on f1.
Yeah,
And
I know the position where black suffering for a draw in the agonizing pain. Yeah, true.
And I always had good position, except one game when I played against GM Petrosian and I got lost in move 17. But in other games, it was completely fine to play.
By the way, Vladimir, do you know that Armenia won against England that you praised before the tournament? And do you know who won the only game?
Yes, a legendary player, absolutely, Martirosyan. Martirosyan.
Yes, your favorite player who you like a lot.
Also,
Uh,
we'll today see what happened to Volokitin in his game, and I don't think that you will like the performance of this guy.
No, we will not see. I don't know
Will not?
what's the improvisation. 2 games announced. It's like
Just two, wow.
if you want, you can yeah, of course
Because I
analyze.
analyzed even this game, yeah. But okay.
But I mean, what to analyze? The person plays neither if it's already like taking a bomb with you, and I don't know, or like playing Russian roulette with 7 bullets out of
But
seven
I
in your
suggest
gun.
you guys to see this game to see very great defensive resource by Abdusatorov
I
in
don't
that
know
game.
what you're talking about. It's like, but
I like this Rook a5 and Rook d5, Rook
it
d1, Rook
doesn't
d5,
matter.
Rook d4.
Okay,
Okay,
so bishop c4 was played. Playing twice with the same piece in the opening is never good. And as Vladimir pointed out, there is a system with knight c6 f5, so white basically threw away one tempo in a garbage can. d3, knight c6, bishop g5. Right now, what white's plan is. White tries to remove the knight, play knight d5, trying to get the outpost, and then after g6, bishop g7, castle f5, f4, g5, g4, figure out that they are mated. That's usually the plan. Or I disagree, Vladimir?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
disagree.
yeah. I don't know. I don't get this opening choice by Gukesh. And you would probably not believe, but that's mostly what could have happened. In the game, queen d2 was played, which another strange move. I understand that it kind of prevents bishop g5, but I mean, it looking a bit awkward. Let's say c3 would be more harmonical. But okay, black tries to take space. Black plays king h8 just to avoid any checks. To play g6, bishop g7. Right here, taking this bishop will not get will not lead white anywhere. Probably white needed to be more aggressive and play some sort of a4 because right now black has a clear plan when white is really struggling in my opinion, even though Wei already lost half of his time. But actually, right here, Gukesh was thinking for 15 minutes, so probably he didn't like his position very much. Rook b8, h3, another hook for a successful attack. g6, c3, bishop g7. Some regular moves, bishop a2, maybe trying to prepare before finally, and f5 happened. What side would you prefer right here, Vladimir, to
Right
play?
here, definitely black. I just was about to stop you in this position, just because I supposed to say that in last 10 moves, I at least see what black is trying to do. I mean, he prepared g6, bishop g7, he played f5. White was sort of, waiting, maneuvering, etc. It's fine, but okay, at least black, I think, achieved whatever he wants already in this
Because
position.
yeah, black has a clear plan, white doesn't have a clear plan, and white not trying to play on the side where the strongest. So I don't know what Gukesh was hoping. It's still position not bad, but I don't know. I would pick 11 out of 10 times to play black position because the plans are supernatural, super easy to play, and for white it's way harder to defend. But there was a funny resource for white right here, which is knight b4. With an idea to create two threats on the fork and the bishop e6. But then after probably subtle bishop d7 it's fine because if let's say knight a6, this knight will not go back and will be trapped. And yeah, after some knight g5, the whole line goes approximately like this, which still looks like slightly better for black because the pawn structure speaks for itself. It's like pawns on the color of opposite to the bishop, at least at the center. In the game, knight g5 was played attacking the bishop. And right here, ef, gf, probably trying to prevent f4 and our announced plan. And then f4 was played, trying to counterattack. How do you think? Is it a good maneuver? Opening up the position
Okay,
against bishop pair, or what are your thoughts?
definitely it's not the best idea. I heard somewhere that it's kind of the best way to play against these pawns, like to take once and f5 and then to play 4, but definitely not in position where you lacking of one bishop, I think. And
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
and
like it, man.
that's I guess happens because right now Gukesh really need to call emergency bots and try to look for complications because he realizes that his position strategically works. He against bishop pair, his opponent has an attack. So from this point, it's probably a good idea what to do. Right here, many ways how to play in the game. C4, pretty direct way to play. But I cannot really say that I like it because you have strategical advantage in the long run. You have like some attack. Why do you mess up the position that much unless you have something concrete in mind? And
It's
let's say,
because you are Wei Yi, because you know how this guy likes to play. I mean, he's a very
yeah,
direct
yeah,
player
he
in this
playing
case.
like super dynamics. When he was like super young in like around 2013, 15, everybody was saying he's like, I don't know, mini computer because he like a new generation of players who play like using engines logic and yeah, using kind of direct approach where it's needed. But let's say more logical, maybe. Okay, not to take first play h6. Let's say I just totally forget about the knight, and let's say after knight goes back, we can take and play knight e7. And yeah, we give up a bishop pair, but we get rid of annoying knight on d5. And the main point is that we have a position with opposite color bishops, and as long as it's a middle game, activity matters the most. And despite the fact that many people know opposite color bishops positions as drawish, in the middle game it's not true. And right now the center would be really amazing, and maybe it was strategically better. But in the game, c4 was played, which leads to the mess. And next move for me is kinda hard to understand, and it was EF. Any thoughts? What was it made for? What is the idea? Why? Okay, I can understand why engine is screaming, "What are you doing? Stop it!" But like, what are your thoughts about that?
Okay, difficult to say. Probably he didn't have his best day. That's why he played. Okay, this move is not the worst. Obviously, I mean there are probably some worse moves in this position, but definitely why you do it. I mean, you can play four instead of this. Let's try to settle it in the board. And you see, guys, that there is only four. It's called pass pawn, right? That in future
Yeah,
it
you
can become very
protected
dangerous thing.
passed pawn.
Yes, protected pass pawn. I know that knight is good blockade or in e3 and etc. But this is pawn for big advantage. Also, the knight on g5 becoming kind of awkward without going back to f3. I just don't understand. I mean, I don't know why you take on f4. I don't
Yeah.
know the reason
Maybe he
why.
could even go like knight a5 straight away, because that's for bishop a2. Let's say we have knight b3, takes, and we again have the same e4 idea, with the only difference that our pawn structure is not spoiled. Instead, Chinese star plays ef. His opponent goes knight f3 because the knight was in danger, and now he continues his plan with rook a8. But right
Yeah, so
now,
he does the same. Yeah, absolutely, right? He does the same as he tried to do, and it was a good idea, but why to take, right? I mean, better was to do absolutely the same. He playing strong, but why to trade, right?
yeah, because right now, like, he got absolutely the same position, with only difference that three pawn islands he has instead of massive feast in the center that could result some damage. And right here, Gukesh played knight f4, giving counterplay to the opponent to the Wei Yi by playing queen here, rook here, and some pressure popped up. But what was better, to play Vladimir and like how to neutralize this pressure before it even appears on the board?
Okay, now it seems to be one very obvious, almost unique plan for black, so that's why we'll see that all the targets, all the look will be at our b2 pawn, and we can overprotect it with rook f2. So first of all, we protect in b2, also we avoid check in the long diagonal with queen b6, because our knight right now covering b6, later it will go away for sure, but yeah, rook does kinda two things in the same time.
Yeah, and right now if we take, we kind of gain a tempo, because our opponent cannot play queen b6 with a tempo, and if bishop d5, queen d5, we get one bishop, which is great against the bishop pair. We can go back, play rook a2, and later collect all the weaknesses. In the game, knight f4 was played, and Wei playing pretty dynamically. He takes the pawn back, losing the pawn on d6, saving pawn on a file, and ready after bishop c3, knight d5 is played, which is a great move, trying to go knight e7, attacking the bishop on c3 at the same time, and trying to win the bishop on g8. And after rook b1, king goes to f2, rook d1 was forced, and right now the problem is that this bishop cannot be taken because there is a pin, but Gukesh, played the most obvious move in the position, which is rook g8, king g8, and knight c3. After which he has two knights for the rook, but it's not easy to coordinate knights. Plus, this pawn can be kinda an anchor. But I would never love playing this position as black, because if you, let's say, get this position against Magnus Carlsen, you're screwed. You don't have any chances to survive. With this knights, he will get inside your soul and just destroy it, rip it apart. I think. What do you think, Vladimir? Would you enjoy playing such endgame?
Okay, I like to struggle, but not that much, probably because I mean there are definitely better positions. Okay, moreover, Gukesh, we'll see later. He tried to do his best, and you'll see what will happen. So
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the only thing that could save Wei Yi is the fact that Gukesh endgames are not as good as his calculations, in my opinion, at least from seeing recently games in his past 2 years. But okay, let's see. Right now, Wei already needs to make a draw, because he knows that the rest of his teammates finished in a draw. And of course, we can say like why China is happy to make a draw, being how much, 1 point behind. But I guess against such strong team as India, it's like really a
Yeah,
gift.
moreover, this famous player Regaisi with 6 out of 6 in the third board,
Already
they
six
will be
under
happy with the
five
draw.
from seven.
6.5 out 7, yeah.
So like lost his power. Joke, of course. Don't take it seriously. Stop writing your
Please.
angry comments. So yeah, maybe better was to go rook a1, trying to be a little bit more annoying, try to catch to the pawn, try to stand, not let the king active, because ideally what white's plan is, somehow try to centralize, somehow try to attack the weaknesses and not lose a pawn. This would be ideal. So rook c1 right here, rook c2, king f1, king goes to the center because activity, centralization are the things that you want to have in such position. And king goes to the center right now. Both of the opponents got additional time. And right here, actually, Wei could be very annoying by playing rook g3. And it's weird that he didn't really play it because it's already move number 41 and he could really do the swing. And for white, it's very hard to do something. Moreover, so we have some king d5 and we can try even threaten to take the knight. Even like something like a4, king f5 right here, king f4, knight takes a5 might result some troubles. Unexpectedly, knights are too far away, and rook and the king are doing some really dirty stuff. But in the game, rook c1 was played, and why I don't like this move because the king gets centralized too much. Pawn on a4 is defended well, and right here, rook b4, white tries to control the rank, some repeating moves, and right now knight goes to f3 to kick away the king. And right here, Dink played not, oh, so not Dink, I like, you see it, like, dreamt all the night that Dink will show his power against the game, against Gukesh, and he didn't appear, so I mixed him up with Wei Yi. Wei Yi didn't play optimal way. What was better to do, seeing this terrifying knight f3 threat attacking the king and causing all the difficulties?
Probably there is intermediate check, right? Because since we can't stop knight f3 directly, we can give intermediate check.
Yeah, and let's say after here we can keep on standing maybe, but let's say king goes right here, there is this idea. How to deal with our king? Well, ideally we would like to move it.
Okay, probably we'll bring it closer to a pawn somewhere.
Yeah, so probably let's say we can play some rook b4, and if we get checked, we can go king d6 and try to target this weakness because we don't want to lose this pawn because it would mean that white has outside passed pawn, and somehow we need to balance between everything. Still, position very hard to play uh, because I mean, white doesn't risk to lose unless they play knight d4 in this position somehow. So rook b8, knight f3, knights get inactive, king is getting active, some repetitions, knights are jumping, and right here, probably like Gukesh needed to reinforce his position and somehow go after the pawn. That's what he was trying probably to do, but he lost his concentration, and right now his pawns are weak, and Wei playing very direct again. This time it's good because he's trying to simplify the position. Rook h3 he attacks. By the way, it would be really funny if, let's say, all of these pawns disappeared from the board, and maybe at some stage he could give up his rook for the pawn, and there will be like this famous end game, two knights versus pawn. And actually, in this tournament, it already happened, right, Vladimir?
Yes, the famous player from Honduras, Joel Gavarete, did crush his opponent in round 1.
Yeah. And worth mentioning that this guy is like how much? 2000, 2100.
2000, yeah, 2002 something.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess Gukesh would have chances, but there is even this famous zone. But for me, it's like some uh, I mean, unmovable forest. It's like very hard to figure out all these details. And right here, f4, great move, baiting opponent to take with the pawn because then the knight drop in, knight g1, rook h1, gf, rook h4. And right now, black has a very nice outside passed pawn. And our viewers, our subscribers, do you know what Vladimir said to me in this position? Vladimir, can you repeat your question?
Yes, 1 second. I said, Vladislav, by the way, why are they playing still? It's dead draw.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, Vladimir, hold on, hold on. It's like there is still some play, and we will see where it going. Because actually, White's plan is pretty simple. They want to like push the pawn, kick away the king, and with both knights try to advance. And if the rook will sacrifice itself for knight and the pawn, then because we have a pawns, this position is winning. It's not even like positions with drawn color bishop where there can be a drawn knight easily wins in such setups. And right now, probably it was better somehow to go after this pawn, try to make these knights malfunction, not let them move. Instead, Wei bets everything on his H horse. I mean, it's not a horse, but you know. So yeah, it's like gambling, trying to promote it. Gukesh says challenge accepted, and Tradia after h3, f7 position is already almost lost. There was a chance to stay alive, but right now the main problem is that if we promote this pawn, there is a check. Computer says that after rook d1, king c4, h1 queen,
Yeah,
the
there is
game
nothing good.
is not lost. But in my opinion, this is like, I mean, you should have a balls, I mean, that are incredibly huge just to play something like this, especially in the time trouble. But saving idea was apparently rook d1, and then after king e2, rook d5, so that after knight moves, there is rook f5 idea, trying to stand behind the pawn and trying to distract an opponent with
Yeah,
this
and there
pawn.
is no knight that can block Rook from
But
defending
at this
f5.
moment, they had 1 minute 25 seconds. It's unbelievable. Like, I mean, it's just, I mean, unfindable. And this is it. This is how India almost guaranteed the first place with this glorious victory. Was it like easy? No. Was it like super deserved? Maybe. But I mean, we expected definitely like that India would win it more confidently. But they won, proved their favorite status. But this was the closest matchup during the whole tournament. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree, but tomorrow there is new chapter and the secret weapon, Parham Maksadlu, will try to do his things with white pieces against probably Gukesh in
Yeah,
board
but
1.
like, I mean, board 3 and board 4 will not have a lot of fun. I have a feeling like
Okay, excuse me, but Idani Puya keeps winning and winning.
keeps winning FIDE Masters with 2400 rating, yeah?
You look like some guy from commentator, so yeah, but at least a win is a win,
Yeah,
like we like to say.
that's true. Okay, great performance. Great
Great.
performance. That's an amazing. That's the guy we need to look up to. But yeah, without jokes, yeah, it's great that Iran managed to win, even though they were a little favorites. But we'll see tomorrow. Can Iran stay alive against India? I don't think so. I guess Yarigassi will continue enlightening our world with his genius plays.
And also
Uh,
worth mentioning while we're talking here that Indian women team also won the game against
against
huge
Georgia, yeah.
opponent. And Georgia 3 versus 1.
I,
3 to
I,
1.
I didn't even open it, but okay, I can't believe it.
I checked it exactly 10 seconds ago for me to be sure, but yeah, it
Okay,
was a 3-1 win in this case.
that's very thoughtful of Vladimir. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you should all subscribe right now. It's like you see how much work Vladimir puts in our videos.
Yes,
And
please.
next game, some of the people maybe came here because of this game. It's Magnus Carlsen, Norway versus Austria against Valentin Dragnev, Grandmaster from there. They don't have Rager anymore. I don't know why he doesn't play it, but I mean, with him maybe the team would be a bit stronger. But Magnus recently didn't have a lot of fun playing because 2 draws in a row. The last one against Max Would Lose that we also analyzed on our channel. Uh, and right here he plays with the black pieces. Uh, Vladimir, did you expect the opening that Magnus play in
Not.
this game?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I also
No.
did not expect because on the move number 5, it's like you should be very brave and confident, like Magnus Carlsen, to get 1-0 out of opening. It's like just a very bold decision, very brave and courageous.
Vlados, what do you know about Extreme?
I know. Okay, I played neither of with black pieces for a few years. I know something, you know.
Probably, but when someone smash you g4 and move 5 in the Philidor,
Yeah.
then I don't know if you're brave enough.
Yeah, and the idea is that yeah, you see that right here, taking, and get in position like this without queens, and the king is not castled, and like oh no, but there
Yes,
is
don't make this mistake. I saw a lot of new players, of like 18, 17, 1600 played against absolute legend Alexander Burhach in my city at some point
yeah.
of the time, and they were losing completely every game
Yeah, because
against
the
him
main
there.
idea is that, I mean, ideally, according to the structures, I understand black wanna like develop somehow pieces normally if white does some nonsense and then start pushing, and then apparently white doesn't have a plan. There are some ways to make black struggle, but Vladimir probably will not tell so that his opponents didn't watch this video. Of course, all of them subscribe to our channel, yeah. But yeah, better not to play it because it's not really ambitious. Knight f3 is one of the strongest moves. Knight b7 and Vladimir referring to g4 move this position. Our Philidor defense, which is a Shirov variation who also plays this Olympiad. But the computer says it's a draw, right?
Okay, but Wei Yi will say that it's 1-0 probably in
Yeah,
this case.
I will say that like bishop c4 right here 1-0. Vladimir would say
Boring.
that no.
Bishop
Uh,
e7.
Yeah, Bishop e7 was played. My student recently played and they even shared it with Vladimir. Bishop f7, King f7, Knight g5, Knight e6, and then picked up the rook. But usually it's not good because if you do it, your knight gets stuck and your opponent gets two pieces for rook and couple pawns. But like if you level below, I don't know how much, 2000, you can easily go
Okay, when
for
I
it.
had 2000 one time, I even lost this position. It's not easy there. I mean, if you don't remember very well with blacks, then somehow white survives, keeps his two pawns, and there are not many open diagonals for the bishop at some point. But okay, usually I don't suggest to be late.
So castle a4, as I know this is the most promising way of play, trying to save some time on playing rook e1 for some reason. c6, h3, and h6. Vladimir played this move, I believe, several times. What can you tell me about this genius idea to develop the pawn on such early stage?
Okay, it's if you will play rook e8 later, it probably stops some annoying pieces to come to g5. Also, yeah, I mean, not that right away something dangerous
Yeah,
will happen. You can go
by
back.
the way, I know that there is a trap like go rook f8 and white wanna play f4 trying to scam black. But then after ed queen takes there is d5 move with an idea of the skill
By
right
the
here.
way, guys, if you don't know, if you play with white against Philidor and you don't know that main idea in this open Philidor for black is to play d5, you shouldn't play it. You play d4, knight f3. Don't go there because you'll just lose the game in this case.
Yeah. So yeah, as I understand, the idea is to prevent someone knight g5, play rook e8 successfully, but it gives white additional time. And right here, bishop e3 was played, but I'm pretty sure that the main move right here is rook e1.
Rook e1, yeah,
Yeah, and then
absolutely. And
after
a5,
some
rook e8.
rook e8, then a5, and then black just getting like just suffocates from white's massive hits in the head, trying to stand on the 7th, 8th rank and trying to stay alive.
Okay, I will not agree with this statement because there's
Yes.
somewhere like later will be some b5 idea with taking on b6 with the knight and then
That
playing the center, but not right here.
it all depends. It all depends. In most of the positions, black suffers on the 7th, 8th rank if white knows the theory.
Surely one day I'll publish my Philidor course and you will see it.
Yeah, yeah. Poor people who will buy it, but okay. I will not tell them. I will not tell them what huge lie hidden behind this opening course. Okay, Rook E8 was played. But yeah, if you like, extreme and very unusual feelings somewhere in the back, then Vladimir will definitely advise you to play.
a5.
I'm already too late and too old to play this. Just prefer super boring openings. So ED was played. Idea, as I understand, to open up the rook and try
Oh
somewhere play
yes,
knight
and
d5.
also that if you don't take on d4 in such position, somewhere d5 will be very annoying if white times it very right. Exactly in lines with bishop e3, you almost directly need to smash it on d4, if not it will be too late.
In the game, queen d4 was played, developing the queen too early, but probably bishop d4 would be a bit more useful, at
Yeah,
least
doesn't
after
change nothing, but it
bishop
just looks more
f8. There,
better.
there is like at least no knight f5 because we have this bishop b5 idea of winning the pawn in the end.
Yeah, okay, queen c7 and yeah.
This is 7, then yeah, like bishop of 1, people play. But yeah, it will be mostly transposition, but probably a bit more favorable scenario. Bishop of 8, Magnus wants to like push back like a spring, improving his knight. Rook e1 was played, queen c7, bishop f4, white tries to create pressure. I like the number of these bishop moves, you count, it's already 2, bishop e3, bishop f4. Knight e5 attacking, we don't want to take like that, never do it guys. Because
If
there
you
will
are
be a
not
fork.
young Zhistov Duda, yeah.
Yeah, Vladimir refers to a game between like Poland and Romania where Duda lost a piece in one move and let down his team in incredible style. Bishop
In this
d7,
round, yeah.
yeah, trying to bring the rook somewhere to the game. Bishop g3 was played, which looks reasonable. A6 move looks incredibly dumb, but first rook is free. Second is
And
somewhere Magnus wants to play c5 as I get.
yes, that's it. It's one of the main ideas. And bishop c6, and you put all the pressure against this e4 pawn and try to squeeze it
But
as much as you
if
can.
Valentin read, let's say, some strategic books, maybe he would come up also with a realization that when you play with space advantage, you don't want to trade pieces and you want to push pawns up to gain more space. So maybe he would come up with knight d2 because then after c5 here we got awesome move of 4, and actually black is not having great time. I think again, the
Probably.
pressure with this hole, with knight c4 coming. Of course, maybe some dynamic still keeps it alive, but black needs really to be more imaginative. Bishop h4, not really a mistake, but trying to target this knight. Rook e6, Magnus defends everything, preparing rook e8 using the plan of Vladimir that he announced. Knight takes e5, and right here, Vladimir, who would you take with? A rook or a pawn as a very advanced Philidor player?
Definitely, I prefer pawn takes e5
Yeah,
in this
and
situation.
usually always take with the pawn because you open up the bishop who's doing absolutely nothing, but Magnus has his own game, baiting his opponent into taking, which engine actually likes, but I'm looking at this position, I'm not understanding what to do. Because if black plays a5, bishop g7, then this position turns upside down. Of course,
Probably some dynamics again or
yeah,
something
bishop
like that.
c4, probably f4, maybe go like this, drop the pawn somehow, and like find some chaos. But white got a bit scared. Reminds me, our first round recap when many players in the winning position started playing not very confident. Because right now Magnus plays rook e8, creating pressure, and after bishop g3, why does it have two not exclamation, question marks? What's wrong with that?
To be honest, I don't see it here. Because I think there is some sacrifice in this position. And there is c5 move, obviously, that is direct
Yeah,
one, and then it
exactly.
will lead to
C5. Don't.
moves that I mentioned long
Yeah,
time ago.
yeah. Good that you recalled it right now. Okay, because after capturing, we have rook c5, and our
Yeah,
rook
that's
starts pressuring, so we're not sacrificing anything. After queen d1, Magnus continues his race. He's not moving back with the rook. He takes, giving up an exchange. He takes d to open up the bishop. His opponent goes knight d5, takes, and he takes with the pawn. And then after e4, even though white has material lead because of rook for bishop and the pawn, but this bishop gonna be just a beast. Plus there are so many weaknesses in the position of white that for black it's super easy to play. Bishop g4, how do you think? Do we trade bishops or what do we do?
okay. First of all, I have a question for you, Vladislav. You
Yep,
probably might be expert to play this position with white. So, if bishop g4 and you allow black to play 5 with a tempi, why is it so good for you?
I don't know, I don't play bishop g4 in this position, so it's question to Austrian national team. But I believe he wanted to create some hole and get inside and I don't know, do something. Cannot say
Sounds
more.
suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah, cannot. But I mean, when your position is already bad, you need to do at least something. or like, I mean, you will be
That is
beaten
true.
to the end. Right here, Magnus actually made a small mistake, given perfect counterplay for white, because right now queen d6 we cannot take, because apparently there is a pin, and or skewer, always mix them up. We create a lot of pressure, and it's very hard to play. So better was to play rook d8, trying to be cautious about it, prevent counterplay first, and then go rook c8. But rook c8, d6, queen c5, not allowing white to get what he wants. c3, another mysterious move, but I mean it prepares queen b3, but makes the pawn incredibly strong. Right now Magnus doesn't mind trading because the pawn on c3 speaks for itself. Queen takes b7, queen e6, trying to defend everything in his camp. Queen takes, and trade here, Vladimir. What was the only chance of white to stay alive? Because
Mm.
Vladimir spotted it, so I'll give him the pleasure to name it.
Thank you. So I'll say, in these positions, as Vladislav said 1 minute ago, if you're completely lost, you need to do something, right? You need to try to survive somehow, you need to try to create complications, and rook takes e4 will be a great move here.
Yeah, because then after fe, there is a skewer. Then after queen d6, position is still looking lost because of c3 pawn, but maybe tiny chances somehow to
Yeah,
stay
bishop
alive.
opposite color,
Look,
sometimes,
locate the
yeah.
pawn. I mean, still probably Magnus will win it easily, but at least some fight. After queen a6, bishop takes. There was a funny discovered attack. Queen a7, c2. White tries to push his pawn. Magnus plays rook b8. Very precise play right here. Where this was in the last two games, we don't know. But finally it came back, and Magnus, waiting for a little bit, finally gets to the back rank and wins the game, because right now white can promote, but then after a queen of one, I believe there is not so much fun being down the queen, because it's like literally rook, pawn, and bishop equal to queen. So yeah, this game is great from Magnus, even with such extreme opening as Philidor defense. Probably watched too many Vladimir's games in Title Tuesdays. I
Definitely.
got inspired by such a great player. But okay, I mean, Olympiad goes on. Our recaps also will be posted every day. So stay tuned in for tomorrow. Please like and subscribe if you like our content, and goodbye.
Ciao.